How's it going, everyone? Today is a special day. I want to start with a big thank you to the devs for being generous enough to let me access and play with the new update. So now I can show it to you guys. We are going to focus on the power couplings, and for that I pulled up an old Paramotor trike thingy that I've built because I think it will be perfect to test and show how the power couplings will change. Because I think it will be perfect to test and show how the power couplings will change. How the power will change builds forever. Yeah, so anyway, we're gonna be building a similar creation, but instead of using the steering hinges, we're gonna be using the power couplings. But before that, I actually have 3 different versions of this, and I thought it will be fun to check them out and do a bit of a challenge to have something to compare the new build with. Okay, so this is the first trike paramotor I've built. I've tried to make it as realistic as possible in TrailMakers, but there was a limit to what I was able to do at the time, especially because it was before the updates, like the big updates. And this one is using a gimbal jet and a couple of boosters on the wing. I had to add them since the wing couldn't keep up with the trike, if that makes sense. And the rest is pretty much straightforward. We got a chassis with wheels and a couple of engines on the back. I wanted to keep it as realistic as possible, but one engine just couldn't do it. The cords are made of steering hinges and slope tubes. And the thing I love the most about this thing is the steering, which is done by pulling on either side, just like a real paramotor. Mind you, I do have to toggle the gimbal jets off, because if I leave them on and I try turning, it just pulls the wing back up and actually prevents me from turning. Now, as you can see, I can pretty much make it go wherever I want, but still it's pretty hard to control. So let's check out the other versions I have, and then we will get to building the new one with the power couplings. So this one is the updated version of the previous one. I've rebuilt it after the airborne and space updates. I wanted to see if I can make it any better using the new parts like the wings, gyros and space boosters. Overall, I think it's better, at least way more controllable. But still, in my opinion, it's cheating a lot with the gimbal jets and boosters on the wings, and it's very wobbly for some reason. So before we move on to the third and my favorite build of the 3 of them, and to building the new one, I actually want to do a little challenge and try to take off and land this thing without breaking it. And we have already taken off, so let me speed it up and I'll be back when we get to the landing. As you can see, I'm trying to get to the top of this mountain, but it's hard to control and it's really lacking the power to climb there. I'm trying, guys, I promise. No, wrong way, turn. Oh my god, I just promised them. Come on. Come on. Oh, there's no space. Oh, I'm counting that. That's not fair. I'm counting that, guys. I didn't realize there was no space to land there. I actually marked it on the map, and I thought there's a flat ground and it's a bit bigger, but apparently I need more space to land this thing, so I don't want to waste too much time. So let's get to the third one, and my favorite one. You're gonna love this, guys. And then we get to the new one with the power couplings. Okay, so this one is my favorite by far. It looks and feels and actually flies more like the real thing. You can see the gimbal jet at the top, and we'll get to it in a moment. I'm just gonna say it's not necessary, and I'll prove it to you. This one also uses the pistons to turn. Unfortunately, we can't get our guys to pull the cords yet. Devs, if you see it, I'm just joking. This one is way more capable of doing tricks. It does use 2 engines at the back, again, because one is not enough, unfortunately. It has a great rate of climb without the gimbal jet, as you can see. It doesn't have boosters on the wings as well, doesn't need it. Let me go ahead and prove to you that we don't need the gimbal jet. I'll remove it and we'll see how it flies without it. I don't want to say it's perfect, but it flies great. So I really want to get to building the one with the power couplings now and compare it, and we'll see what we get to. I haven't touched the power couplings up to this point, so it's gonna be interesting. We're gonna learn together, so let's get to it. I have no idea what kind of paramotor we're gonna build. I'll probably end up building a trike again, just because I want it a bit bigger. I've managed to get the smaller one to fly great. I want to try making a bigger one fly better, like the first 2 trikes. I ain't gonna use the same frame just because I wanna do something new. I have no idea how it's gonna look. I don't know what seats to use. I'll just experiment a bit and I'll get back to you whenever I have something in my mind. You're gonna have to bear with me and be patient because I'll probably change a lot of stuff here. First time using the power couplings. Let me figure out how I'm gonna connect it and we'll keep on going. Okay guys, I'm pretty sure it's done. Let me paint it up and we'll see what we got. Okay guys, good news! As you can see, the power couplings work perfectly for a paramotor. It actually didn't glitch out even once. I expected it to be way harder to build. Those things are amazing. So just like the other paramotors, this one uses pistons to steer, but everything else is pretty much different. First off, speed is pretty much the only thing that keeps it in the air. I didn't use any gimbal jets or boosters for the wing. Unfortunately, I did have to add a gyro to control the wing's pitch. In a real paramotor, you pull on the back cord to lift the front of the wing, but I couldn't replicate it since we don't have connections on the back of any of those wings. The best part about it is that it gives me a ton of other ideas for upcoming videos, so stay tuned. And again, a big shout out to the devs for letting me access this update. I really appreciate it, and it gives me the opportunity to give you guys more content. And if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye bye!